Is the 60-meter indoor race about to witness something we've never seen before? With sprinters like Kishane Thompson, Clayton, and Lockie Kennedy setting the track on fire, and Noah Lyles yet to unleash his full speed. This season feels different. Something insane is coming. The only question is, who will make history? The 60 meters is all about raw speed. No time to settle in. No room for mistakes. The fastest starters in the world explode out of the blocks, and within 6 or 7 strides, the race is already decided. For decades, this event has been a proving ground for 100-meter stars, a place where the best sprinters show just how powerful they really are. Some of the greatest names in sprinting history have left their mark on the indoor 60. Back in 1998, Maurice Greene set the world buzzing when he ran 6.41 seconds, breaking the existing record. But he wasn't done. That same year, he lowered it even further to 6.39, a time that looked untouchable for almost 2 decades. Then came Christian Coleman in 2018. With a lightning-fast start and perfect execution, he smashed the record, running 6.34 seconds, a mark that still stands today. On the women's side, one name towers above the rest: Irina Privalova. She set the world record at 6.92 seconds in 1993 and matched it again in 1995. That was 30 years ago, and no one has beaten it since. Many great sprinters have tried, but Privalova's record has held firm, making it one of the longest standing in track and field. But in 2025, things feel different, and there's a wave of rising talent, and some of the early season performances suggest we might be heading towards something historic. Records that seemed untouchable for years might finally be in danger. The question now is, who will be the one to rewrite history? Kishane Thompson has been the biggest name that is making waves so far. The Jamaican sprinter started his season with a 6.48 second run outdoors in Jamaica, a time fast enough to catch everyone's attention.
Thompson's got a little bit of work to do here because he's under pressure from Kemp. Now he's coming across the line.
Then he traveled to Astana for the World Indoor Tour, running 6.56 seconds to win his first ever indoor 60-meter race. What makes this even more impressive is that he had never raced indoors before. The adjustment isn't easy. Different track surface, tighter turns, controlled air conditions, and no wind assistance. Yet Thompson handled it like a pro. Even after stumbling slightly in the final, he still crossed the line first, showing that his raw speed and acceleration are on another level. If he cleans up his technique and gets more comfortable indoors, he might be in the conversation for a world record before the season is over.
Clayton at the moment just neck and neck with her sister, but Clayton streaking away in the final stages. 7:21 unofficially on the clock.
Clayton has also wasted no time in showing that she means business. At the same meet, she clocked 7.18 seconds to win the women's 60 meters, one of her fastest times ever. That alone is impressive, but what really stands out is her consistency. She ran 7.22 seconds in the heats, then improved in the final. That kind of control over her races suggests she's in top form and might be knocking on the door of the sub-7 club, an exclusive group of sprinters who have broken that barrier. Right now, she looks like one of the strongest young female sprinters in the world, and if she keeps improving, she could be a serious problem for her competition in 2025. But the surprises aren't just coming from the expected stars. A completely unexpected name has just dropped one of the fastest times ever, and no one saw it coming. Lockie Kennedy just ran 6.43 seconds in an outdoor 60-meter race, a time that instantly puts him in the conversation with the fastest men in history. Normally, the indoor 60-meter event is dominated by familiar names, established stars, who have spent years refining their explosiveness. But Kennedy? Before this season, he wasn't even on the radar. Now, he's forced his way into the spotlight with a performance that has the sprinting world talking. What makes this so shocking is how fast his improvement has been. Just weeks ago, Kennedy's best time was 6.55 seconds. A solid mark, but nothing earth-shattering. Dropping more than 1/10 of a second in such a short time is almost unheard of at the elite level. The catch, of course, is that his 6.43 was wind-assisted, meaning it won't count as an official record. But that doesn't take away from the fact that he's running at a speed very few have ever reached. And it raises a huge question. What happens if he takes this form indoors? Right now, Kennedy hasn't competed in any major indoor meets. But if he transitions to the controlled environment of an indoor track, things could get even more interesting. Without wind to help him, will he still be able to match this speed? If so, he could suddenly become a real contender against the likes of Kishane Thompson and Noah Lyles. No one had Kennedy on their list of potential threats, but after this, he's impossible to ignore. Meanwhile, speaking of Lyles, he's been keeping a low profile so far, but that might be about to change.
So the track and field season is heating up, and we're now at the indoors. Noah Lyles, the reigning Olympic champion, opened his season today over 60 meters.
Because while other sprinters have already dropped eye-catching times this season, Lyles started with a modest 6.62 seconds in Florida. By his standards, it's nothing special. But if there's one thing we've learned about Lyles, it's that he doesn't need to come out blazing. He just needs to peak at the right time. This isn't the first time he's taken a measured approach. In 2023, he opened with 6.63 seconds, which didn't seem like much at the time. Then, just weeks later, at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix, he ran 6.42, silencing any doubts. That's how he operates. He builds, refines, and when the moment is right, he drops a time that reminds everyone why he's one of the best in the world. This year, the stakes feel even higher. The indoor scene is stacked with talent, and sprinters like Kishane Thompson, Clayton, and Lockie Kennedy are putting up serious times. Lyles thrives in high-pressure situations, and if history repeats itself, his real performance jump is coming soon. He's set to race at the New Balance Indoor Grand Prix, and based on what we've seen before, it's the perfect stage for a statement race. If he dips below 6.40 seconds, we could be looking at an all-out battle for the fastest indoor 60 meters ever, something the sport has never seen before. This growing controversy over indoor versus outdoor 60-meter races is creating a discussion that could change how we judge sprint performances forever. Recently, World Athletics made a major change, merging indoor and outdoor 60-meter performances into a single ranking system under the short track category. On paper, it sounds like a small adjustment, but in reality, it's causing a big controversy. The issue? Indoor and outdoor conditions are completely different, and treating them as the same is raising fairness questions across the sport. Indoor races take place in controlled environments. There's no wind assistance, the track surfaces are standardized, and climate conditions remain the same no matter where the race happens. Meanwhile, outdoor sprints introduce unpredictable elements. Wind, temperature changes, different track materials, and even elevation can all impact performances. If an athlete like Lockie Kennedy runs 6.30 seconds outdoors with a legal tailwind, should that be compared to a sprinter running 6.30 indoors, where conditions are much tougher? That's where the controversy begins. The situation gets even trickier when records come into play. If someone breaks the world record outdoors, what happens? Does it officially replace the indoor record? Or will it just be labeled a world best, a mark that's acknowledged but not considered an official record? As more athletes push the limits, these questions will only become louder. Some believe outdoor 60s should be kept separate, while others argue that speed is speed, no matter where you run it. Either way, World Athletics has made a call that could shake up how we track history in the shortest and fastest race in the sport. The 2025 indoor season has already given us shocking upsets, record-threatening performances, and a heated debate about indoor versus outdoor 60-meter legitimacy. But the real fireworks may still be ahead. Kishane Thompson, Clayton, and Lockie Kennedy have made it clear they're here to shake things up, while Noah Lyles is still holding back his best. The question is no longer if something historic will happen, it's when. Will we see a new world record? Will an unexpected name rise to the top? Or will the performances force World Athletics to rethink how they classify sprinting history? Whatever happens, the next few weeks will define this season, and maybe rewrite the record books in the process. So, what are your thoughts on this? Let us know in the comments down below.